The fashion industry, and especially Vogue magazine, do not care about body diversity or women's equality at all.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Every Damn Day Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification bar over there. Share my videos. Subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts, in my opinion, of course. But to bumble at the end, thank you very much. This is a follow-up video to a video done by Michelle McDaniels on the channel My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You. You should check out her channel. Awesome channel. Watch all the videos. Anyway, ever since Tess Holliday walked on New York Fashion Week, and I do say walked, because I will always use air quotes when I describe that as a walk. Always. The incredibly altered biomechanical gait. The woman is clearly unhealthy, and I'm not just picking on her because this is relevant to the rest of the video, but the woman is clearly unhealthy. Her waist measurement is probably the same as her height measurement, or pretty close. Her waist measurement is bigger than her hip measurement, and she's probably at a BMI of 50 or 60. Just to be real, I think she weighs closer to 350 pounds than 300. And in reality, that is just unhealthy. The weight she's putting on her joints, especially with the biomechanically altered gait, the body fat percentage she must be at, because compared to lean mass at 350 pounds at 5'3", she's probably in the upwards of 60 to 70% body fat. It is just very, very, very unhealthy. The size of her, the size of her, or her midsection shows an extremely large deposit of visceral fat. She's not healthy. Let's just get over this. She can be beautiful, she can be intelligent, she can be a businesswoman, she can be all sorts of things, but she cannot be healthy. It's just, I challenge anybody that can, go against that type of science. So, and if you can suspend that type of reality, okay, I wonder what color the sky is in your world. But ever since she did her walk, for the statement that was done, because the rest of the models were actually modeling. She was just making a statement. That's why she was in clogs, not high heels and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, whole other video. There's been this huge outcry for body diversity in modeling. And it's all bullshit. Women come in all shapes and sizes and they need representation. It's all bullshit. If it wasn't if these people weren't just spouting bullshit, the very first thing that they would be bitching about is that ultra thin models, like very ultra thin models, are not legally allowed in many countries to be on magazines or runways. Israel, France, Spain, Italy all have laws stating that ultra-thin models can't work. Talk about weight stigma. They view you as too thin, and you can't work. They take your career. How is that going to help those people? I mean, there would be an outcry about this, an absolute outcry. But instead, ultra-thin models are used as the example. Well, ultra-thin models were on magazines. Yeah, and other countries started doing shit about that. Countries started putting legislature out because it was affecting young people's minds, young women's minds. It was setting an unrealistic body ideal. It was setting an unhealthy body ideal. And I'm sure other people were going to say, I even had the doctor, Dr. Joshua even said, well, it's because people would rather be thin. When most of the population is 70% overweight and 40% obese, it's very easy to understand how a young woman would see an idealized, glamorized, obese model and say, I'm good, and shoot for that instead of going ultra thin. Just to be real, like it's common sense, But there would be an outcry of this. It would be the first thing it would start with, because nobody is making it illegal for morbidly obese people to be on the cover of magazines or on runways, obviously. They're being celebrated. But instead, it's illegal in many countries for ultra-thin models. Shit, Vogue magazine in May of 2012 said, the 19 editors of Vogue magazine around the world made a pact to project the image of healthy models, according to a Condé Nast International announcement Wednesday. They agreed to, quote, not knowingly work with models under the age of 16 or who appear to have an eating disorder, end quote. Who appear to have an eating disorder. Tess Holliday is 350 pounds. She appears to have an eating disorder. She admits to having an eating disorder in an interview with Amanda Knox.
At the time, what were your coping mechanisms?
Food.
Food.
I was going through how I arrived to start emotionally eating. And I remembered the exact moment I did. And I was sitting at my Aunt Marilyn's house, who was helping care for me. My mom didn't want me and my brother to see her while she was going through physical therapy. And my aunt made me a bowl of vegetable beef soup. And I remember feeling the warmth of the soup and feeling full, and I felt something. I remember thinking, this is how I'm going to get through this. And I still struggle with emotional eating.
Admitted it. She admitted to emotional eating. So why is Teen Vogue promoting her on their social media, as you can see here? And that is the hypocrisy of it. It truly is. That hypocrisy of it is not about body diversity. And it's not about having representation of women of every size. Because if it was, the rallying point right now would be to protect the women whose jobs were taken away. We were to protect the women who it is illegal in some countries, who there's policy about by Vogue magazine to not be able to appear on covers. But instead, that's not mentioned. Instead, fat acceptance movement members use ultra-thin models as well. They had ultra-thin models. Why can't there be obese models? Because they actually did something about the ultra-thin models. They actually stated this is unhealthy and it sets an unhealthy ideal. They actually did something about it. That's why. If you knew what you were talking about, if you actually had any understanding, you would understand that. And the ultra-thin models, by the way, weren't trying to say, I'm ultra-thin and I'm healthy. That never happened. They oftentimes point out, well, models smoke. Yes, but they don't have that on the cover of magazines anymore because it's an unhealthy standard. And they were never trying to say, I smoke and it's healthy. Instead, right now, we have members of the body positivity movement and the fat acceptance movement trying to state that they are healthy, that there's nothing wrong with them. You can't tell their health by looking at them, which is complete bullshit. Because Tess Holliday is not healthy by every marker you can possibly see. Visibly, there's no way she's healthy. And I will always point out that the 200 to 250 extra pounds she's carrying on her, equate to about 600 to 1,200 extra pounds on her knees every time she takes a step. That's why she wasn't in heels, people. So just to be clear, there's no way it can be seen that the fashion industry or Vogue magazine actually want body diversity or women's equality. They don't consider all women equal. They consider ultra-thin people not good enough for their cover. But anybody else, let's have at it. That's not equality. If you people want to rally for equality and body diversity for everybody, include everybody. If not, you're just hypocritical pieces of shit. And that's just my 2 cents on the matter. My name's Alan Roberts. Hit me up on Instagram at Everydamnday Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Everyday Fit. I'm also on Facebook at Everydamday Fitness. And on my internet at everydamndayfitness.net. God damn.